So, the first one, let's start off with the rules of multiplication. Okay, I'm pretty sure you know most of these already. What happens if I take a positive number and I multiply it by a positive number? What will that always give me? That will give me a positive number. You are correct. So positive times positive equals a positive number. If I take a negative times a negative, what will that give me? That will also give me a positive number, right? But what happens if the signs are different? Positive number times a negative number, what's that give me? That gives me a negative number, right? So notice what happens right here. What can we say about the two rules that we just wrote down? If the sign is the same, what happens? There you go. If the sign of a product of two numbers is the same, then what? It is positive. That's what this is saying right here. That's not really worded all that well, but we can deal with it. If the sign of a product of the two numbers is the same, then the product has to be positive. The only time that it's different is if the numbers are different themselves, if the signs are different themselves. So this right here would be an absolute great way a great spot to put in a level 1 question tomorrow when we come back and we revise these notes. This would be a great spot to put in a level 1 question. Anybody have a level 1 question they're thinking of that could be answered by the notes right now on the right-hand side? What question could you ask right now on the left-hand side that could be answered by the stuff you see on the right-hand side? Yes?
What sign will you get if you're multiplying two different signs?
Oh, okay, I like that. That's a good one. Can I paraphrase for you? What is the product of two numbers with opposite signs? That's a great level 1 question, right? What's the product of two numbers with opposite signs? What's the answer? Negative. Very good. Negative. Awesome. Okay, you guys following along so far?
Yeah.
It's pretty basic, right? Or it's with it? You guys are catching on? Okay, let's do some examples. Let's do A, B, and C. Or we'll just do A and B. Here we go. What's negative 11 times a negative 9? All right. Are the signs the same or are the signs different? The signs are the same, right? So what does that mean? Has to be a positive answer, right? So what's the answer? Positive 99, right? Because the signs are the same.
That was simple.
That was simple. You want something a little more challenging? Here we go.
Yes.
How about 8 2/3 times negative 1 3/5? 8 2/3 times negative 1 3/5. Okay, first of all, let's answer this basic question. Is the answer going to be positive or negative? Negative. How do you know? Because the signs are what? The signs are different, right? Yeah, the signs are different. Okay. 8 2/3 times negative 1 3/5. How do you want to multiply these? Times 8. How much? This would be 26 thirds times negative 1 plus 3. 8 fifths, right? Okay, how do you multiply two fractions? Not cross multiply. There's no equal sign anywhere. Multiply straight across. Very good. Okay, good. What's 26 times 8? What's 26 times 8? 6 times 8 is 48. 2 times 8 is 16. 17, 8. Is this 20? Yeah. So this is negative 208. All divided by 3 times 5 is 15. There you go. Check. All right. Was that harder?
No.
Oh, you had the answer before me?
No, I got it same time.
Oh, same time. Okay, good. Good. All right. Third box here. Key concept of the day. Key concept. This is definitely one worth highlighting across and writing a question on tomorrow. Key concept. Here we go. The distributive property. Raise your hand if you've heard of the distributive property before ever in your life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Let the record show 5. Oh, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 out of 30 people. So way less than half. Okay, less than half of the class has heard of the distributive property. Okay, here's the basic rule. It says this. If you take any real number A and multiply it by B plus C, what do you need to do to the A, the B and the C if it's inside parentheses? You need to distribute. So what we do is we draw these little arrows here, and that helps us remember that we have to multiply A and B and then add that to the product of A and C. Sounds more confusing than it is. So this is A times B plus A times C. So here's a basic rule of thumb for you. And we're going to practice right now. We're going to practice with it right now. So let me move that to the top of the screen so everybody can see it. And let's practice. I've got 2 for you, A and B. If I take 6, multiply it by 5 minus x plus 2x. Okay. We have to distribute our 6 into our binomial here. 6 and negative x. So what is 6 times 5? 30. What's 6 times x? 6x plus 2x. All right, are we done with the problem? No, why not? What happens right here that I'm highlighting, the part I highlighted? What's wrong with that? Who's got the answer? What are they called? These are called something. I think someone said it. What is it? This is review, so it's okay to shout it out. What's the answer? I mean, what do you call these things? Sorry.
What if you know the answer but not what they're called?
Well, then we have something to learn. They're called like terms, aren't they? Oh, yeah. Who's heard of that before? Raise your hand if you've heard of that. See, you've heard of it. You just forgot about it. Okay, 2 things have to happen in order to be like terms. Can you name one of the 2 things? Yes, sir.
Variables have to be.
Same variables. Very good. Same variables. I like that. And there's one other thing that has to happen in order to be like terms. What is it? Same what? Anybody know? What's the exponent on this variable? A 1. What's the exponent on this variable? 1. They have to have the same what? Exponent, yeah. Okay. So, if both of those things are happening, that's what we call like terms. So, this is negative 6x right here. This is a positive 2x. So how many x's do you have total? If you have negative 6 over here and a positive 2 over there. You add them together. What do you get? Negative 4. So, Andres, what's the answer?
Repeat the question.
To this. Yeah. You said you had the answer, right?
No, I thought you.
Oh, okay, you don't. 30 minus 4x. Ah, okay. There we go. We learned something. Good. 30 minus 4x. Who got it right? Everyone should have, right? Because they're following along. Okay, let's try B. Let's try a little harder here. Oh, no. It's too much. Okay. I'll tone it down. 15x minus, ooh, this is a special one. X minus 12. Oh, man. Now, this one's tricky. There's a trick here. Anybody see the trick? No, that's not it. There's a negative. Good. There's a negative. Where is that negative, right? It's right here. There's like a negative 1 hiding right there. Right? Even though there's no 1 there, it's still hiding in there. We have to distribute our negative sign. We have to distribute our negative sign. Oh, you get it. Sweet. So this gives 15x. What's negative 1 times x? Negative x. Good. What's the negative 1 times the positive 12? Go. Or negative 1 times the negative 12. Yeah. You're not paying attention. Negative 1 times the negative 12. If the signs are the same, what's the answer going to be? Positive what? No, you added them. Negative 1 times negative 12. Positive 12. There you go. Anybody see any like terms? I do. Right here. They have the same variable. They have the same exponent, right? So what's 15x take away 1x? 14x plus 12. Here we go. Okay, this is the last idea of the day, and we have to talk about the properties of multiplication. Since not everybody's hand went up when I already asked, we have a little bit more to learn. But there's only 5 things here. All right, let's start off with that one that I asked everybody, the commutative property. You okay, buddy? Here's what it says. If you take 2 numbers and you multiply them, a times b, it's the same thing as multiplying b times a. This one's so obvious, right? We already know this. We just didn't know what it was called. There's a name to it. If I asked you, hey, what's 2 times 7? You'd say what?
14.
And if I asked you, hey, what's 7 times 2? You'd say what?
14.
Are they the same? What's that called? Commutative property. Now there's a name that associates that, right? Good. Speaking of associative, there's the associative property. The associative property says this. A times B times C. Is it okay with you if I'm using the dots for multiplication? Yeah, you guys, everybody understands that? That's the same thing as A times B times C, right? Yeah, right? If I asked you, hey, what's 1 times 2 times 3? What would you say? You'd say 6, right? But if you did the 2 times 3 first, then times the 1, you'd still get 6. So that's the associative property. You just didn't realize there's a name that goes with that. That's the associative property. All right, the identity property. This one's my favorite.
Why are there so many names?
That's a great question. Identity property. If you take any number and you multiply it by 1, what do you get back? A. Very good. What's 7 times 1? Shout it out. What's 8 times 1? Whoa, yikes. 8 times 1? 8. What's 27.2 times 1? What's 81 times 1? You guys. 81 times 1?
81.
81 times 1? 81. Good, thank you. 5 times 1? 5. 7 times 1? 7. Happy face times 1? Now, take that. Okay? We have 2 more to go. Hang in there. The property of 0. This one's even easier. Property of 0. Take any number. You multiply it by 0. What do you get? 0. Yes, very good. Here we go. Let's practice. 7 times 0. 0. 9 times 0. A box times 0. There you go. You got it. There you go. You can't. Nice job. You can't divide by 0. Okay. Property of -1. Any real number, any positive real number, multiplied by -1 gives you the negative of that number. Unless, of course, your number was negative to begin with, because we would know that that would give us back